All right. Top 10 favorite band. Come on.
Crazy Kevin.
Oh, no, not really. Nickelback.
Hello, everybody. This is not
April
going to
is
be a
Steel
gaming
Toe's
video,
wife.
so I apologize if all you expect on this channel are gaming videos. After all, it is called Gaming the Systems. But I did get permission from you guys. I posted a poll and I said, hey, if I did
I
a
bet the
top 10
Nickelback is just a
favorite
gag. It's
bands
clickbait.
video, would you watch
yeah.
it? And most of you said
Yeah,
you would.
Clickleback.
And
Clickleback.
we'll see if that actually happens.
Clickleback.
Clickleback. Those are good ones tonight.
I know. All these possible show titles.
Top 10
Are you
favorite
serious,
bands
Soup's
of all
Kitchen,
time.
Steve? Do you see that? What he wrote in the chat? Steel Toe also commented on that Girl Cheats for Coke cartoon and wrote documentary.
Wow.
I love that he's just like fucking going in, dishing the dirt. Casino
Let's
said
start
that
with
they'd have him on
10,
if he would
and
go
is
completely nuclear.
White Zombie.
And burn it
Just
all
a
to the
warning,
ground.
You're going to see a lot
All
of
the details.
1990s bands in this list, and that's because my musical tastes were developed in the 1990s. Even new bands today, I prefer them to sound like bands that I listened to in the 1990s. So White
Can he use a
Zombie,
different background track?
What is it I like about them? Well,
Why is
I
this
like
one that he uses a lot?
He uses in every countdown video, yeah. The
how they mix little sound effects in with their music. I like how you can almost dance to the music, yet it's very heavy. Not as heavy as other bands or whatever, but it has great rhythm. I love the album La Sexorcisto, Devil Music.
Have you ever heard of these
Volume 1.
people?
I used to
Yeah,
listen to it.
it's Rob Zombie.
Yeah,
It's White Zombie.
I don't know them.
Yeah.
And burn the witches.
That's right. Yeah, that's Rob Zombie solo, but it's basically the same
Rob
thing.
Zombie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So yeah, Little White Zombie's just Rob Zombie.
Okay.
I like what there's like two songs. There's like that Dracula and what is it? I don't know.
Living Dead Girl.
I don't know.
Friend of the show, Sawyer, made me
Something
watch
65.
Oh, the Thunder
Yeah.
Rock or something
Yeah.
like that. 65. I don't know.
Come on, Deke, hold it over here, but I'm over here, but it's on the halo.
Oh, he
I
sings like
song.
that. I'd probably recognize some of the music.
Yeah.
From the beginning
If it's
to the
if it's
end.
humming a
So
humming a
that's
humming
always
a
a sign that
humming
you're like a band when you can take a whole album and listen to the whole thing. But I also like Astro Creep 2000. Some of my favorite songs are Thunder Kiss 65.
There you go. Thank you. Gaming
Electric
Assist.
Head Part 1 and 2.
Do you know that
Supercharger Heaven. I have
Kiss
seen
owned
White
an
Zombie a
arena
couple
football
times in
team?
Yeah, I believe that. I can see that.
Yeah, that fits for their brand.
Yeah.
concert, and I will say they're kind of disappointing in concert. And of course, White Zombie broke up, and then the group Rob Zombie formed, and they kind of sound like White Zombie, but I prefer.
Did you ever hear the story of Gene Simmons? Maybe I told it to you, where Gene Simmons had like a meeting with Haim Saban and like some other Jew. And it was like Gene was like proposing them for like a TV show, like a kid show or something that he wanted to make. And they are talking and everything goes well. And then like Haim Saban like looked over at like his business partner in Hebrew. He goes, or not Hebrew, whatever they say.
Oh yeah, I've heard this one.
He goes, and now we gut him like a fish. And then like Gene Simmons responds and he goes, assholes, I'm one of you, or something.
Yeah.
Just like all this kiking going on.
Listening to White Zombie, but Rob Zombie's okay. And I do have a shirt from when I went to a White Zombie concert. And here it is. This is one of their album covers. And on the back, you can see some tour dates. I don't think it has any years on it. 1995. So yeah, I think these concerts would have been in 1995. I have another one. I don't know if this is from the same show. It's possible I bought this at a store, but I would usually go to concerts and buy some of the shirts there, including some of the shirts people sell in the parking lot, the bootleg shirts. So, and number 9 is going to be a surprise for some of you, so you might want to just grab onto something. This is a newer band.
Imagine Dragons.
Very heavy, and I enjoy their sound, and that is baby metal.
Oh no!
I feel weird saying.
I don't know what
it's
the
these.
fuck
Yeah,
that
it's
is.
these three nip
Japanese
girls.
Band, and all the songs are in Japanese for the most part. There's a few English words here.
I would
there.
definitely.
There's one main singer, and then there's two dancers.
Definitely take the Dragon Ladies.
Dancing alongside
Don't know about the
singer.
music.
It's so weird describing this band. But behind them is a metal band, and they all come together and form this unique sound. Some of the songs are
unique is a unique way to describe.
So good, I can just listen to them again and again. I prefer listening to the way they sound in concert rather than their initial video releases of some of these songs. Now, what I don't like is how young the two side dancers were when they began the band. They are in their 20s today, so everything's okay. I feel like
he's like, I gotta bring this up. Do I bring it up? Do I do? It's like he debated like whether to bring this up for so long.
He shouldn't have.
Yeah.
These young people may have been forced into this band by their parents. I don't know what the story was. If you have never heard of this band, I do recommend you go look up their song Headbanger and put the word live in your search, because like I said, they sound better live. I also like their songs Gimme Chocolate, Catch Me If You Can. I have no idea what they're saying in these songs, but it's a really unique concept, at least to me as an American. Number 8 is The Offspring. I love the song.
Oh my god.
Their guitarist's name is Noodle. Remember that?
Dude, that hair.
That come down bit where they're making fun of him.
Dude, I want to get a pair of those glasses, like the goggles glasses.
Self-esteem.
Look like I'm going skydiving.
Pretty fly for
I just went skydiving.
Why don't you get a job? The Americana album is the one that sold me on The Offspring. That's another album I used to play from beginning to end. It felt like a testament to American society, if that makes sense. Now, for the most part, I don't care about the meaning of lyrics and stuff, but there does appear to be a lot of meaning in their lyrics, and it just sounds very good. I mean, Pretty Fly for a White Guy is a very original song. I've never heard anything like it since. There's actually some comedy in some of these songs, too. There's one song where there's
Soup Kitchen
poop, I think.
He imagines he wrote Pretty Fly for a White Guy about
self-esteem.
him.
Those are just iconic songs. I am heavily influenced by a rock station close to where I live, and the things they play there are pretty much the way I get exposed to all these bands. Number 7 should come.
That is so normie core.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's where he gets music. That's from the radio.
Wicked fucking normie core. That's like old normie core.
Yeah, when do you listen to the fucking radio?
When is there a radio around?
Yeah.
Dude, other than I guess just in your car.
Yeah. How is you just put on something that you like and then YouTube starts recommending shit?
Yeah.
And when you drive, and then it just starts playing new songs as you're driving.
Yeah.
As no surprise, and that is Green Day. And they're kind of like the Offspring. They have some interesting lyrics, and some of them are funny. But
these fucking people. Who's next? Good Charlotte.
The drummer's name is Trey Cool in Green Day.
Come on.
Noodle and Trey Cool.
Come on. Come on.
Noodle.
Holy fuck.
Dude, it's Noodle and Trey Cool.
There's just a whole vibe with Green Day that makes me happy inside. They're very uplifting songs, most of them. And they have so many good songs. Some of the ones I like are Longview, Basket Case, When I Come Around, American Idiot, Wake Me Up When September Ends, Brain Stew, Minority. They have a very unique sound.
Wake
if you
me
hear
up.
A random
the music video, the dudes walking down the alleys in Iraq getting blown up.
Dude, like that album. That album was huge when it came out. American Idiot.
Dude.
I remember that like being like
when was that? 2004.
Yeah, so that's like prime Iraq War.
Yeah, dude, the Iraq War was so Kino. Like early.
There needs to be more movies taking place in Iraq.
Early GWAT, early Global War on Terror, all that shit. Oh man, Kino.
GWAT.
Just dudes kicking indoors. Just kicking indoors of fucking peasants, you know? Peasants. Goat herders.
Oh, but yeah, that was that. I remember that album was like huge. Middle school time.
Yeah, constantly.
Because I used to watch like VH1 a lot.
Yeah, no.
Back then because they had all those shows.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
They constantly just like shilled Green Day and shit.
Oh yeah, because they needed to shill recruitment for Iraq, so they had to play that.
Tony Danza too.
Yep.
They're very unique, and I appreciate the fact that they are still making music today, unlike some of the other bands on this list. And their new stuff.
TRL live from Baghdad.
I know from my other top
This is Carson Daly coming to you from the Euphrates. We liberated it.
I get those all the time on my video game top 10s, like my top 10 favorite NES games. There cannot be anything.
VH1 was the best in the aughts. They had a lot of just the best slop. They had the best slop.
Anything missing.
Oh yeah, it was the best slop. Background
slop. Music is very subjective, even more subjective than video games. After all, we are talking about sound.
I love the whatevers, dude. Those were such slop.
Kind of weird when you think about it.
All the celebrity shows.
Yeah, doing I Love the 2000s.
Oh yeah, never finished it.
Bought a lot of their albums, and I cannot say that there's really an album I can listen to from beginning to end, but there are a lot of good songs.
Just Megadeth
amongst many different albums.
Metallica is going to be his number one. I guarantee
enjoy the most are Wake Up.
Yeah, if he's got Megadeth, yeah, then Metallica's probably got to be on there somewhere.
Guns N' Roses.
Ooh, GNR, I bet. Yeah.
Dead, Peace Sells, Into the Lungs of Hell, In My Darkest Hour,
I don't think I've ever heard any Megadeth songs.
Skin of My Teeth,
Maybe.
Symphony of Destruction,
Maybe.
Of course.
Maybe.
I love the rhythm and the sound that they produce with their guitars. This is another band that I do not think sounds that good in concert. And I don't think Dave Mustaine, the lead singer, behaves very well in concert. When I saw them in like
he just pulls his dick out.
I just remember him just yelling at people in the audience and stuff like that. He gets on these tirades and he can't control his anger or whatever. But
that's cool.
Yeah,
that's actually kind of cool.
Controversies
back in the 90s,
don't affect my preference for their music. And here's a shirt I got from a Megadeth concert.
He was freaking out at Noodle for
in 1990
watching his guitar solo.
By the way, I do have a pile of these shirts and I'll be showing them to you today. But I don't wear any of them.
Nice
they smell like mildew. I
nice drop
found
there.
them at my childhood home in a garbage bag.
Yeah, that was a peak drop.
On the floor for a while, so I don't
Marilyn
think they
Manson.
Fit me.
Hell yeah.
They didn't fit me back then. I just have a weird body.
I don't know any of his songs.
Nothing ever fits me. Number 5 is
The Beautiful People. The Beautiful People.
Yeah, that's it.
Korn.
That's the only one I
days
can think
before
of.
they became popular.
That's what I was going for.
They have made a lot of albums.
Korn.
According to my research.
Oh, is this an official pick? Korn. Oh,
they have made, for the years, believer in Korn in the early days before they became popular. Over the years, they have made a lot of albums. According to my research, they have made 14 of them, and they're still making them today.
Well, there's been 14 Korn albums. Oh boy, I can't imagine listening to the newest Korn album.
Yo, did you get the newest Korn album?
No.
Hey,
what?
Blind, Chutes and Ladders, Adidas, Freak on a Leash, Falling Away From Me, Make Me Bad. This is another band that is very unique. You know instantly you are listening to a Korn song if you just hear a random clip from one of their albums. Those songs have a creepiness to them, and they have a very dark vibe. And sometimes they talk about very serious subjects. He mixes in some
Rampart. Imagine listening to Korn at all.
Some little beatboxing things in his songs. They're very original. Falling Away From Me is probably my favorite song of theirs. It just hits all the right notes for me. By the way, this is a difficult band to talk about amongst people who don't follow that type of music. I remember being at my grocery store job and just talking to this guy, and he would always be asking me, do you still listen to Korn? And he would just love the fact that there's a band called Korn, and it was a butt of.
And then he'd call me a faggot.
Okay, you saw this one coming. Number 4 is Alice in Chains.
Yeah!
I remember being in
did you say Alice in Chains?
A song.
That's what I said before we started.
You did. But I'm like, that song sounds good. I wonder who that is. It took me a long time to track down who it was.
Number 1.
I didn't have the internet back then. It was this song called Them Bones, and it was a hit song for them, and that gave birth to other songs that they played on the radio for Alice in Chains, and I just fell in love with them. I had to go out and buy that album called Dirt.
Well, I'll tell you what, he had a lot in common with Lane Staley, especially at the end there. They could have talked Vidya. He could have saved him.
The previous video,
maybe.
How I used to
talked him off of that.
on my Sega CD.
Talked him away from the needle.
Something bad happened with that. I like Man in the Box, Sea of Sorrow, Down in a Hole, Them Bones, Rooster, Angry Chair, Wood, Heaven Beside You. And
how about just every song?
The Flies album. It's
because
they didn't put out a ton of music. They didn't put out a ton of music.
No,
really.
So it's just like every song is pretty good.
Songs are very mellow. I love the way they basically have two singers, or at least they used to, and their voices blend together to make this sound that has never been heard before. It's just so relaxing when they hit those notes in those songs. Whew, I love it. I
like Angry Chair, Laplander. Kid Rock, hell yeah.
Moving on. This is like Alice in Chains' brother, and that is Soundgarden. That's another band that just hits me right here. I like Rusty Cage. I like Black Hole Sun. I like Jesus Christ Pose. The Day I Tried to Live, Fell on
Someone was playing that.
My Wave, Let Me Drown, Head Down, Burden in My Hand. The song Outshined is one of my
that was a weird edit.
Favorite in My Hand. The song Outshined is one of my favorite songs of all time.
Didn't Soundgarden, don't they only have like 3 albums?
Another one of my favorite songs of all time is Pretty Noose. That song doesn't get a lot of radio play, at least on the stations that I listen to. But man, if you have not heard Pretty Noose,
3 Too Many?
Damn.
I like Soundgarden.
It exemplifies everything I love about Soundgarden. Number 2 is Pantera. Oh,
no, he doesn't. I don't think he likes. I think he likes fucking
that word on this channel.
metal.
Okay,
or
so
metally shit. I don't think he likes
Display of Power is one of my favorite albums of all time. I can listen to
number 1 is Metallica.
The album cover
he's talked about.
No, it's gotta be
probably the best album.
I'm pretty sure
he
said it.
A guy being punched in the face.
Actually.
I love the songs "Mouth for War," "A New Level," "This Love," "Effin'."
I don't think I've ever heard. I don't think I've ever heard a fucking
"Demons Be Driven."
Pantera song.
Are all just from that one album. I also like certain songs from their Cowboys from Hell album, "Cemetery Gates," "Domination." I like their
speakers recently.
Oh, really? That's culture. You should have put on Panama though.
Oh, they did. They listened to Panama.
Hell yeah.
We listened to like all the good ones, all the classics.
Would they just put in the greatest hits
of Van Halen?
Oh no, they put in the first one, but it's like
skipping through it.
No, they played everything.
Oh, okay.
Of Van?
They played. Yeah, they played that.
They played Van Halen 1. Because that's the first album.
Yeah.
And then Van Halen 2.
Yeah.
They played several of the albums.
those hack fags.
Well, Zeppelin. I was gonna say Zeppelin did it.
Yeah, I know, but they were good.
I think
you can listen to their music.
Well, Van Halen has a few good songs.
I can't listen to it though.
I
it's just.
I think it's pretty good.
I like Running with the Devil.
No,
I forgot about that one.
That's
I completely forgot about that one.
That's a great song.
I've heard it so many times.
Jamie's crying.
Oh my god! Yeah,
I like Everybody Wants Some, and
I was listening to The Trial the other day. Laplander.
Hoobastank.
Yeah, I was listening to some Stank the other day.
Listening to some Stank.
Beyond Driven album. I like
Driving Around
Broken,
Blasting
Becoming,
Stank.
Strength Beyond Strength. They are just heavy.
Everybody's fighting about it, and nobody likes the same music.
Power
Everyone's saying everything's shit.
It's amazing from a technical
he's
level,
really
but it hits you hard.
Game of the Systems
now,
here is
how
really
did I first
ruffling everyone's
come
feathers.
across Pantera?
Yeah, the chat's
I
really
actually
fired up
heard
over
them
this.
in concert before I heard any of
Hootie
their
at the
songs
Blowfish.
on their albums, and they were opening for the band Skid Row. I actually still have a shirt from that concert. The front of the shirt just
He's got
says
some
Skid
questionable
Row.
taste in music.
Yeah.
Skid Row. I want to get
Pretty
I
gay.
want to get a shirt of Sebastian Bach wearing the shirt that says AIDS kills fags dead.
Was that a thing?
Well, yeah, there's a picture of him from like wearing a shirt that says that, like, you know, like raid, like raid, you know, the
Dude, we could make a shirt.
pesticide.
We should sell merch, but we should like make our own
Let's try
shirts
to
of
find
like
it.
a
Sebastian
shirt of Sebastian Bach wearing the shirt. You know what I mean? Like we should do our
Bach.
own
Yeah.
funny shirt thing. You know what I mean?
There it is. I found it. He's like pointing to it. That's pretty funny. It's from a Huffington Post article that has
Cards on Tech. Yeah,
I'll post it in chat.
we're gonna get the merch store one of these days. Yep, Jazz with the catcher on the front. He kills fags on the back. Yeah, Jazz's face over the fat kid from the Sandlot. Yeah, on the fat kid from the Sandlot's body. And she's just like in the full catcher's gear.
And then on the back it says AIDS kills fags dead.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna do something with the cunt wives too.
Yeah.
Actually produce
But in the
them.
back, it
Yeah.
says both their names.
Just no, we can
And
put like
Pantera was
we
just
can
this
sell
small, dinky band that opened for
Kleenex
Skid Row.
cozies.
But
Yeah,
it's a
yeah,
Kleenex
totally different style of
cozies.
music.
The things that you put over
And I think
that go over
this
Kleenex
concert
boxes.
booking was
And it just says,
basically
turn
the
all your
beginning of a
Kleenex
new
boxes
age
into cunt
in
wipes.
rock music. We were going from the sounds
It's
of
like
Skid
it's like crocheted or whatever, like for
Yeah.
your cunt freshness.
Row.
Yeah,
to the
remember I
sounds
had
of
like my
Pantera
grandma had a
in the
bunch of those.
1990s.
Yeah.
That was an encapsulation of the change that was happening in rock music at that time. After that concert, I went out and bought the Vulgar Display of Power album, and my mind was forever changed. It's time for some honorable mentions, and there's a lot of them, and I'm just gonna read them off real fast here. Marilyn Manson,
Yeah.
Falling in Reverse, Rage Against the Machine.
What's that one? Falling in Reverse?
Marilyn Manson, Falling in Reverse,
I've never heard of that.
It's
dude.
emo
Rage
stuff.
Against the Machine,
Are
Ghost,
these his not good enough to make the list? Are these his not?
Lincoln.
Are these his
Linkin Park.
honorary
You couldn't
mentions?
get a
Yeah.
picture for
Nothing
Ghost?
more.
Okay. I had to
Bush,
feed the cat really quick.
and
Bush.
Prong. If you've never heard of Prong, go watch some of their videos. It's an amazing
They
band.
Russian
I
band?
believe they didn't become more popular than they did. So now we are at number 1. This band
Metallica.
is what transitioned me into this type of music,
Yeah.
the type of music I've been showing you today. And
How
I
could he
first
not
heard them
like
in
it, but
1991.
like
Let me
Megadeth?
tell you what was going on in 1991 for
Right.
me. I was a very rowdy teenager, getting into
Yeah, I
all
bet.
kinds of trouble, pursuing
bet.
women I had no business pursuing, drinking a lot more alcohol than I should have, going to parties,
3 beers.
tons of
Yeah.
friends, and all kinds of
None of this
rowdiness
is
going
real.
on at that time. But I was in the car with a woman, and we were kind of hanging out, and she started playing this song. And
She started
I'm
playing
like,
with his dick.
What is this song? This sounds awesome. And that was it. That was the spark that gave way to all the other bands on this list and changed my listening habits forever. And that song, believe it or not, was Sad But True by Metallica.
Yeah.
Metallica is my number 1 band, and it's by a mile. I have listened to Metallica.
My number 1
probably
band
about
is
50
Was
times
Not
more
Was.
than all the other bands on this list. I don't want to oversell them. I'm sure
They do
you know
Walk
who
the Dinosaur.
Metallica is. But that song on the Black Album that they had in the early 90s was a
Favorite solo
bridge
artist
for
was
me.
Carl
I went from listening to pop and dance music to listening to heavy music and rock music and eventually grunge. And it was all because of that one song on that one album.
Fine Young
I
Cannibals.
listened to the other songs on the album, and I started to hear a lot of songs on that album on the radio as well. I was like instant fan of Metallica. Before I heard that song, I had heard of them, but I didn't know much about them and didn't have an opinion about them.
Or just listening
But
One Hit
after I
Wonders
bought that album, like I gotta have more. Do they have other albums? Of course they do. I went to
never
the
listened to
record
Metallica.
store
I'm not a Metallica
that had
head.
CDs.
I like their first few albums.
Long CD boxes that they had back then, and see, oh, there's another Metallica album, Justice for All. I'll get that one and try it.
Jesus.
So I have like a promo T-shirt that says "Follow me to the Metallica section."
Holy shit!
I don't know if it's worth anything, but it's like
follow me to the Metallica.
It's like I was only given to like clerks for the opening.
Damn, dude, that's some rare Metallica merch.
I never wore it.
Justice for All and Justice.
Yeah,
for All.
I'm not wearing it.
Wow. The trash.
I was amazed.
It's just sitting on my shelf.
It was even better than the Black Album, in my opinion. And I'm like,
tell him about
the guy.
Tell him what the guy tried to sell you guys.
What?
What? Mr. Blue, tell Chet what the guy tried to sell you guys.
You have to be more specific than that.
What? Yesterday morning, the guy that's been bringing in trash.
Oh, the bike.
What?
He tried to sell us the bike.
Yeah. Yeah. And then he just
wrote it on from the homeless shelter.
And then he just fucking left it.
Yeah, he just left it there. He told us his claim was that he can only get one.
Huh?
Like, how can you get two? How can you get two bikes at a time? You can only ride one bike at a time. He doesn't make any sense. He's just Ralph.
Oh, you know him by name?
Yeah, I can't understand. I don't know what his last name is. It's like M's and Y's and Z's and P's and stuff in there.
Trying to sell you his bike.
Not his bike, a bike.
A bike, right? It's like the bike from Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah.
That's what he brings it. He's like, it's got some value here, right? It's from a movie.
It's like, dude, this isn't a fucking pawn shop.
He takes like stuff. He takes like stuff from like the
library.
The donate your books at the grocery store thing.
No.
Yeah. And
no.
Brings that across the plaza. Yeah.
He
brings
takes
it across the plaza and then it's like tries to sell it to us and like gives us like his reviews like, oh, you gotta have this one.
No way.
It's
dude.
A little soup for the teenage soul.
Dude, I'd ban if I were the manager. I'd ban him. Ban
him. He tried to give you guys chicken soup for the teenage soul.
Well, and a well-worn copy of it, just a donated one, amongst other things that were. Most of his stuff is wet.
He takes all the shit from the donations at Hannaford's and tries to fucking sell it there.
Just like old romance novels, Danielle Steele.
Yeah.
That's a good grift.
Not anymore. We don't do the 50 cent. We don't do the 50-cent books anymore.
Nice. Don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shouldn't take anything from those people.
We shouldn't take anything from anybody.
Oh no.
For the most part, like 90%
unless it's
of
like
people.
high end.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
I bought Master of Puppets, and then I bought Ride the Lightning. In recent years, I have rebought those CDs, and I listen to these in the car. Metallica has shifted gears a lot over the years, but they are so talented whenever they do shift gears. I always enjoy the new type of music they are producing. Like when they went through their Load era, when they came out with Load and Reload.
The Load era?
Shifting of gears. It sounded different, but it still sounded good. I want to say that
it looks so
I was not the only one who was transitioned to heavy metal through the Black Album. I want to say there's probably millions of people out there, maybe even some of my own viewers, who transitioned to heavy music through listening to the Metallica Black Album, because this was a huge
I'd
success.
say that's probably a pretty...
They got a lot of radio play, and it was easier to listen to than traditional heavy metal. They kind of mellowed out a little bit on this album, but it still sounded good. I ended up seeing Metallica in many, many concerts, and I have some shirts
No.
And I don't know what concert this would have been. I think it would have been maybe the
That
late
one's cool.
1990s.
It's got spiderweb.
He looks like he'd look so awkward in these t-shirts.
Yeah, dude. It looks like could you imagine him at one of these concerts?
No.
Like, what would he be doing?
I can't really imagine him outside of this room.
Front and back. Here's an "And Justice for All" shirt.
No.
This one I did wear a lot back in the days because, man, this
yeah,
was
like he could get the shit kicked out of him real easy.
And this would have been from their Black Album tour. I probably bought this.
It looks like DLC
during that long tour. On the back, it kind of shows the stadium setup. Then we got this one. I probably got this in the mid 1990s. It has the stages of life.
It brings up the one
on the
they
back,
played in Antarctica.
Birth, school, Metallica, death. I know a lot of people
played in
don't
Antarctica.
like Metallica.
Yeah,
and maybe
technically.
one of the reasons is because they are so popular and they make so much money. And when a rock band becomes popular, it's sometimes frowned upon, you know. And they are still making pretty good music, and they're in their 50s.
No, they're
now.
not.
No, they haven't put out a good album in
All the
like
members are still alive.
30 years.
If they
Yeah.
did stop or
This dude's
some of them
insane.
died or whatever, we still have this large body of music to pull from. But a lot of you are probably wondering, where's Slayer? Well, I was never really introduced to Slayer back then in the 1990s. I mean,
you can listen to it now.
The only good thing about Saint Anger, Laplander, did you ever see Some Kind of Monster, like the documentary? It's actually a very good movie of just Metallica.
The Metallica one.
It's a Metallica documentary, but like it's good. It shows it's about them like making the album and like just fighting.
Yeah, I remember.
It's a pretty good movie.
I mean, I heard about them, I saw the shirts, and I knew people who listened to Metallica and these other bands also listened to Slayer. But
I've never listened to Saint Anger, but I've heard it's terrible.
Get into them back then. If I wasn't first introduced to something during the 90s, it was harder for it to, you know, have an effect on me. Now, going back and listening to Slayer today, I still can't get into them. I'm sorry. It's just, I listen to what's considered their best songs, and I just can't get into them. But anyway, let me know what your top 10 favorite bands are. It'd be interesting to see if some of mine are on your list, and you guys can compare against each other's as well.
Just criticize them in the comments. Just tell them that their list sucks. They'll spurg out.
It is nice to
I got in a fight with him in the comments because I said he was playing a game and he wasn't playing it on. He was like emulating it through his.
See you next
through
time.
the. He was playing some retro game on his PS5 instead of like hooking up the console and playing it on that. So I said, like, what are you doing? You have the consoles. Aren't you playing on the original hardware? And he like snapped at me. He was like, you're gatekeeping. He's like, don't gatekeep.